Has someone you care about begun to show subtle yet worrying changes over the past year? Many people believe that death and aging occur suddenly. But in reality, the body often sends quiet warnings months, or even a year, before life reaches its final stage. The challenge is that most people overlook these signs because they seem minor at first. It's only in hindsight that families recognize the clues that were present all along. By then, it can be too late to prepare or to create lasting memories. In this video, we will discuss 5 key signs that often emerge a year before an elderly person passes away. Some of these signs may be things you've noticed but dismissed as mere aging. Others may appear minor but actually indicate the body's gradual decline. Recognizing these signs early allows you to provide better care, cherish meaningful moments, and ensure that your loved one's final stage of life is filled with comfort, dignity, and peace. Stay with us until the end, as these 5 signs can help you prepare emotionally and practically for what lies ahead. Understanding what is happening will help you avoid being caught off guard and enable you to make the most of the time you have left with your loved ones. Let's get started. 1. Significant weight loss. One of the earliest and most telling signs that someone may be approaching the end of life is unintentional weight loss. At first, this may seem subtle: a belt that suddenly needs tightening, looser clothing, or a fading appetite. Many families dismiss this as just part of aging. But losing weight without trying is rarely a good sign. Unintentional weight loss often indicates that the body is struggling to absorb nutrients efficiently. Muscle mass is decreasing, and essential systems are slowing down. While some weight loss is natural with aging, rapid loss is a sign of deeper issues. The body may be failing to digest food properly or process protein effectively, leading to muscle wasting. This loss of strength not only makes movement more difficult but also increases the risk of falls, weakens the immune system, and makes the individual more vulnerable to infections. Changes in appetite are also common. Many elderly individuals simply do not feel hungry as they once did. Their sense of taste may diminish, food may no longer seem enjoyable, and they might start skipping meals or eating smaller portions. This is not merely a preference, it is a physiological change. As the body senses it is beginning to shut down, it no longer signals the brain to seek food as often, resulting in decreased energy and overall health. Additionally, underlying medical conditions can contribute to weight loss. Chronic diseases like cancer, heart failure, or kidney disease often progress long before more obvious symptoms appear. Even conditions such as depression or cognitive decline can lead to reduced appetite, creating a downward spiral where the body does not receive enough fuel. Some families attempt to solve the issue by encouraging their loved ones to eat more, offering favorite foods, or supplementing meals with protein drinks. However, if weight continues to drop despite these efforts, it is essential to recognize that the issue is not just dietary, it is the body preparing for a significant transition. At this stage, forcing large meals may not help. Instead, focusing on comfort foods that are easy to eat and ensuring proper hydration can significantly enhance quality of life. If you notice significant weight loss in an elderly loved one, especially if they are eating less, feeling weaker, or struggling to stay active, it is crucial to pay attention. This is not just about physical appearance, it is the body sending a message. Understanding that message now can help you prepare for the road ahead with clarity, compassion, and the ability to make every remaining moment meaningful. 2. Extreme fatigue and weakness. One of the most noticeable changes in the year leading up to the end of life is profound and persistent fatigue that does not improve with rest. It is not merely feeling tired after a long day, it is an overwhelming exhaustion that makes even simple tasks feel daunting. Getting out of bed becomes a challenge, walking across the room requires effort, and activities that were once routine, such as cooking, dressing, or even holding a conversation, can become too draining. This is not just a result of aging, it signifies that the body is conserving its remaining energy. As organ function begins to decline, the body prioritizes essential functions. The heart may not pump as efficiently, circulation weakens, and muscles may not receive the oxygen they need. This is why many elderly individuals in their final months feel weak, unsteady, and unable to sustain their usual level of activity. Metabolic slowdown is another key factor. The body, designed to produce and use energy, redirects that energy as it prepares for its final phase. Instead of fueling movement, it shifts toward preservation. This can lead to increased sleep, longer naps during the day, and difficulty staying awake for extended periods. Some individuals may experience sudden drops in energy, feeling fine one moment and completely drained the next. The emotional impact of fatigue can be heartbreaking. Many seniors who once valued their independence may feel frustrated or embarrassed that they can no longer do what they used to. They may withdraw from conversations, avoid social interactions, or cease engaging in hobbies, not out of disinterest, but simply due to a lack of energy. This can lead to isolation, accelerating their decline. For families, witnessing a loved one transition from active and engaged to exhausted and withdrawn can be painful. It is easy to assume they're being lazy or need to push through their fatigue. However, forcing activity will not help. Instead, it is vital to understand their limits, allow them to rest, and make their remaining days as comfortable as possible. If you notice a loved one experiencing deep, ongoing fatigue that isn't relieved by rest, take it as a sign that their body is undergoing a significant transition. This is a time to cherish conversations, create peaceful moments, and support them without expectations. Ultimately, what matters most is that they feel loved, understood, and at ease. 3. Increased cognitive confusion or withdrawal. As a person approaches the final stage of life, one of the most noticeable changes can be in their cognitive function and social interactions. You may observe that someone who was once sharp and engaged starts to forget things more frequently, struggles to follow conversations, or appears disoriented in familiar surroundings. They may repeat themselves, forget names, or lose track of time, even if they never previously had memory issues. These subtle cognitive changes can occur months or even a full year before death. This is not just everyday forgetfulness. The brain, like any organ, requires a steady flow of oxygen and nutrients to function properly. As circulation weakens and the oxygen supply to the brain decreases, cognitive function begins to decline. The person may become easily confused, have difficulty making decisions, or struggle to recognize familiar people and places. In some instances, they may experience brief moments of clarity followed by sudden confusion, as if their mind is fading in and out. Emotional withdrawal is another common sign. Someone nearing the end of life often loses interest in social interactions. You might notice them speaking less, engaging less, or spending long stretches in silence. This does not mean they do not care. Rather, their brain no longer processes emotions and engagement in the same way. Emotions can become tiring, loud environments may feel overwhelming, and many seniors may retreat into their own world. You may also notice changes in mood and behavior. Some individuals become more irritable, anxious, or easily frustrated, while others seem unusually calm, detached, or indifferent to things that once mattered to them. This isn't merely a personality shift. It often reflects the brain adjusting to the body's decline. For family members, this stage can be particularly difficult. Watching a loved one lose touch with reality or withdraw emotionally can feel like losing them before they are actually gone. However, it is important to remember that this is not something they can control. Instead of trying to draw them back into conversations, the best approach is to meet them where they are. Speak gently, offer reassurance, and understand that even if they do not always respond, they can still feel your presence. If a loved one is becoming more forgetful, confused, or disengaged, do not ignore it. These are often early signals that the body and mind are preparing for the final transition. This is a time for patience, cherishing quiet moments, and creating an environment that feels safe, familiar, and peaceful. Even when words fade, love and comfort can still be felt. 4. Frequent infections and slow healing. As the body begins to decline, one clear physical sign is a weakened immune system. You might notice that someone who rarely got sick now seems to catch every cold, flu, or minor infection. What used to be minor illnesses can take much longer to recover from. And simple wounds like cuts or bruises heal noticeably slower. These changes are not random. They indicate that the body can no longer defend or repair itself as it once did. Repeated infections, such as pneumonia, urinary tract infections, skin infections, and oral infections, become more common as the immune system weakens. Families might assume these are isolated illnesses, but when they occur frequently or take longer to resolve, it often signals that the body is losing its ability to fight back. Even antibiotics that once worked quickly may seem less effective, requiring stronger medications or longer recovery periods. This happens because, as circulation slows and organ function declines, the body does not respond to treatment as effectively. Chronic wounds can also be a concern. If small scratches, sores, or bruises do not heal properly or keep reopening, it could indicate compromised circulation. Poor blood flow means that oxygen and nutrients are not reaching the skin and tissues efficiently, resulting in slower healing. Pressure sores, especially for those who are less mobile, can become a serious risk and lead to dangerous infections if not managed carefully. Infections in the final year of life may not present as expected. Instead of a high fever, an elderly person may simply appear more tired, confused, or less interested in eating. For seniors, a sudden decline in mental alertness is often the first warning sign of an infection, even before other symptoms appear. Recognizing these changes early can significantly impact the comfort and support provided during this stage of life. For families, watching a loved one go through repeated infections can be heartbreaking. It is tempting to pursue aggressive treatments, hoping that one more round of antibiotics or one more hospital stay will resolve the issue. However, at a certain point, the focus often shifts from curing to comforting, ensuring hydration, maintaining skin cleanliness, and minimizing stress on the body can do more for their well-being than additional medications that prolong suffering. 5. Major changes in breathing or circulation. A noticeable change in breathing patterns and circulation is one of the most telling signs that the body is preparing for its final stage. You may observe that your loved one breathes more slowly or shallowly than before. At times, they might pause between breaths, or their breathing may become irregular, speeding up and slowing down unexpectedly. Some individuals experience a rhythmic breathing pattern called Cheyne-Stokes respiration, where breathing alternates between deep, rapid breaths and long pauses. These changes can start subtly, but over time they become more pronounced. Weakened circulation can also be observed. You might notice that their hands, feet, or even their nose and ears feel cold to the touch. The skin may appear pale, bluish, or mottled, especially around the fingers and toes. This occurs because the body prioritizes blood flow to vital organs, reducing circulation to the extremities, indicating that the heart is not pumping as strongly as before. Some individuals may experience shortness of breath even with minimal movement. Activities such as sitting up, speaking, or shifting positions might leave them feeling winded. You may notice them breathing through their mouth more frequently or needing to pause to catch their breath while talking. If they once walked easily across a room but now struggle, their lung function may be declining. In some cases, fluid buildup in the lungs can make breathing more difficult, leading to persistent coughs, gurgling sounds, or a feeling of tightness in the chest. Many people mistakenly assume this is just congestion from a cold, but for elderly individuals nearing the end of life, it often indicates that the lungs are weakening. This can make lying flat uncomfortable, prompting them to prefer sleeping propped up on pillows or in a recliner. For family members, witnessing these changes can be frightening. It is natural to want to help, to encourage deeper breaths, or to worry that something urgent is happening. However, in many cases, this is simply the body's natural way of slowing down. There may not always be a way to reverse these changes, but there are ways to enhance comfort. Keeping the room cool, using a humidifier, or offering small sips of water can help ease discomfort. In some cases, medications or oxygen therapy can provide relief, but the focus often shifts toward comfort rather than attempting to fix the issue. If you notice these signs, changes in breathing, cold hands and feet, or a bluish tint to the skin, pay attention. These are often indicators that the body is conserving energy and that circulation is slowing down. It is a time to be present, offer reassurance, and create a peaceful environment where they feel safe and at ease. In these final months or weeks, the most important thing you can provide is not medical intervention, but comfort, dignity, and the knowledge that they are not alone. Final thoughts. As we conclude this video, take a moment to reflect on the signs we discussed: significant weight loss, extreme fatigue, cognitive decline, frequent infections, and major changes in breathing and circulation. These signs often emerge in the year leading up to an elderly person's passing. They may not all occur simultaneously, and they may not always be obvious initially. However, when you begin to notice them, it is a sign that the body is preparing for its final transition. For many families, accepting these changes can be challenging. It is natural to want to fight against them, to encourage a loved one to eat more, move more, or push through exhaustion. Yet sometimes the best approach is to listen to what their body is telling us. Instead of focusing on reversing the inevitable, we can prioritize making their remaining time as peaceful, comfortable, and meaningful as possible. Understanding these signs is not about fearing death, it is about being prepared for it. When you recognize these changes early, you can provide better care, make important decisions in advance, and ensure that your loved one's final months are filled with love and dignity. This is a time for cherishing moments, sharing stories, and letting them know they are valued and not alone. If you are noticing these signs in someone close to you, take a deep breath and remember, you are not alone in this journey. Many families have walked this path before. While it is never easy, knowing what to expect can help you find strength, patience, and peace. Thank you for joining us today. We would love to hear from you. Please leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today and how you plan to use it in your life. Your thoughts are important to us, so don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments motivates and encourages us greatly. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue creating valuable content to inform and inspire you. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.